National Electrical Code Section 310.16 provides specific guidance on sizing the ampacity of the grounded neutral conductor for a dwelling unit service. This section mandates the use of Table 310.16 for determining the appropriate ampacity. Understanding this requirement is crucial for ensuring safe and compliant electrical installations in residential settings. The grounded conductor, often referred to as the neutral conductor, plays a vital role in carrying unbalanced currents back to the source. Properly sizing this conductor is essential for preventing overheating and potential fire hazards. Table 310.16, titled Allowable Ampacities of Insulated Conductors rated up to and including 2000 volts, 60 degrees Celsius through 90 degrees Celsius, not more than 3 current carrying conductors in raceway or cable or earth directly buried, based on ambient temperature of 30 degrees Celsius, provides ampacity values for various conductor sizes based on their insulation temperature rating. The selection of the appropriate conductor size from Table 310.16 involves several factors, including the calculated load, the ambient temperature, and the type of insulation used for the conductor. It's important to note that adjustment factors may need to be applied to the ampacity values listed in Table 310.16 based on the specific insulation conditions, such as the number of current carrying conductors in a raceway or cable, and the ambient temperature. These adjustment factors are outlined in other sections of the National Electrical Code. Section 220 addresses the calculation of branch circuit, feeder, and service loads. This article provides the necessary methods for determining the total calculated load for a dwelling unit, which serves as the basis for selecting the appropriate conductor size. When sizing the grounded neutral conductor for a dwelling unit service, it's essential to consider the unbalanced load. The unbalanced load is the maximum difference between the current on the neutral conductor and the current on any one of the phase conductors. The National Electrical Code allows for a demand factor to be applied to the neutral load calculation, recognizing that the full calculated load is unlikely to be present on the neutral conductor at all times. The specific demand factors that can be applied to the neutral load calculation are outlined in Section 220.61. Understanding and applying these demand factors correctly is crucial for avoiding oversizing the grounded neutral conductor, which can result in unnecessary costs. It is very important to follow the steps for calculating the dwelling unit service grounded conductor. Firstly, calculate the service load using Article 220. This involves determining the total calculated load for the dwelling unit, taking into account all connected loads, including lighting, appliances, and heating and cooling equipment. Secondly, determine the unbalanced load on the neutral conductor. This involves calculating the maximum difference between the current on the neutral conductor and the current on any one of the phase conductors. Thirdly, apply any applicable demand factors to the neutral load calculation, as permitted by Section 220.61. Fourthly, select the appropriate conductor size from Table 310.16 based on the calculated neutral load and the conductor's insulation temperature rating. Fifthly, apply any necessary adjustment factors to the ampacity value from Table 310.16 based on the installation conditions, such as the number of current carrying conductors in a raceway or cable and the ambient temperature. Sixthly, ensure that the selected conductor size has an ampacity equal to or greater than the adjusted ampacity value. If the initial conductor size does not meet this requirement, increase the conductor size until the ampacity is sufficient. It is very important to note that Section 310.15b2, which addresses ampacity adjustment factors for more than 3 current carrying conductors in a raceway or cable, is not the primary table to be used for dwelling unit services. Table 310.16 is used for dwelling unit services. The grounded conductor must be sized to carry the maximum unbalanced current. The unbalanced current is the current that flows on the neutral conductor due to differences in the loads connected to each phase. The NEC allows for a demand factor to be applied to the neutral load calculation. This recognizes that the full calculated load is unlikely to be present on the neutral conductor at all times. The demand factors are found in Section 220.61. The neutral conductor must be sized to carry the maximum unbalanced current after applying any applicable demand factors. It's very important to understand the specific requirements of the National Electrical Code. Section 310.16 provides clear guidance on sizing the grounded neutral conductor for dwelling unit services. By following the steps outlined in this discussion, you can ensure that your electrical installations are safe, compliant, and efficient. Proper sizing of the grounded conductor is critical for protecting against electrical hazards and ensuring the reliable operation of electrical equipment. When dealing with electrical installations, always consult the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and seek guidance from a qualified electrical professional. Also, it's very important to be aware of any local amendments or regulations that may apply in your jurisdiction. Local codes may have additional requirements or modifications to the National Electrical Code. It's your responsibility to comply with all applicable codes and regulations. Furthermore, consider the long-term needs of the electrical system. As technology evolves and new appliances are introduced, the electrical demand of a dwelling unit may increase. It's often prudent to size the service and conductors to accommodate future growth. Oversizing the service slightly can provide a margin of safety and prevent the need for costly upgrades in the future. In addition to the sizing requirements for the grounded conductor, it's also important to consider the grounding electrode system. The grounding electrode system provides a path for fault current to return to the source, which helps to protect against electrical shock hazards. The National Electrical Code outlines the requirements for grounding electrodes. These electrodes can include metal underground water pipes, concrete encased electrodes, ground rings, and rod and pipe electrodes. The selection and installation of grounding electrodes must comply with the requirements of the National Electrical Code. Regular inspections and maintenance are essential for ensuring the continued safety and reliability of the electrical system. But over time, connections can loosen, conductors can corrode, and equipment can degrade. Periodic inspections can identify potential problems before they lead to failures or hazards. It's recommended to have a qualified electrical professional inspect the electrical system at least every 3 years. During an inspection, the electrician will check for loose connections, damaged conductors, and other signs of wear and tear. They will also test the operation of safety devices, such as ground fault circuit interrupters and arc fault circuit interrupters. Proper maintenance can help to extend the life of the electrical system and prevent costly repairs. Consider energy efficiency when designing and installing electrical systems. Energy-efficient appliances and lighting can significantly reduce energy consumption and lower utility bills. The National Electrical Code includes provisions for energy-efficient design. These provisions address issues such as lighting controls, insulation, and motor efficiency. By incorporating energy-efficient measures into the electrical system, you can reduce your environmental impact and save money on energy costs. It is good to remember that electrical work can be dangerous. Always exercise caution and follow safety procedures when working with electricity. Energize circuits before working on them and use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrical professional. Electricity is a powerful force that must be treated with respect. By following safety precautions, you can prevent accidents and injuries. Moreover, consider the impact of electrical systems on the environment. Electrical power generation can contribute to air and water pollution. It's important to use electricity responsibly and to support renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power. By reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, we can help to protect the environment and create a more sustainable future. The National Electrical Code is constantly evolving to address new technologies and safety concerns. It's important to stay up to date on the latest changes to the code. The National Fire Protection Association publishes the National Electrical Code every 3 years. You can purchase a copy of the code from the NFPA website or from other retailers. You can also attend training courses and seminars to learn about the latest code changes. By staying informed about the National Electrical Code, you can ensure that your electrical installations comply with the latest requirements. In summary, Sizing the grounded neutral conductor for a dwelling unit service requires careful consideration of the National Electrical Code. Section 310.16 mandates the use of Table 310.16 for determining the appropriate ampacity. By following the steps outlined in this discussion, you can ensure that your electrical installations are safe, compliant, and efficient. Proper sizing of the grounded conductor is critical for protecting against electrical hazards and ensuring the reliable operation of electrical equipment. Always consult the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and seek guidance from a qualified electrical professional. And finally, remember that electrical safety is paramount. Take the time to learn about electrical hazards and to follow safe work practices. By being careful and responsible, you can prevent accidents and injuries.